Hey y'all, so I already have my hair braided down. So what I'm gonna do today is a natural sew-in with the closure. As you can see, all the supplies that I just showed you is what I'm gonna use. So first I have my wig cap and I'm going to put that on my head. And the bundles I'm using is also old bundles. I'm reusing them. I only used them one time and wore them for like one day, maybe two at the most. So the hair is still good. So I didn't have a black cap, so I had to use this new color cap. So just bear with me on this step. So yeah, I should have left my natural edges out, but I really just wanted all of my hair tucked away. I do regret not leaving my edges out, and I just went ahead and did the ball cap method. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do next. I did 2 layers of glue in total, which you will see in just a second. And the traditional ball cap method, if you have done it before with a wig or anything like that, then you'll already know what I'm talking about. So yeah, right now I'm just gonna test the closure out to see like where I need to actually sew the closure down at, to make sure I kind of place it in the middle. The part wasn't necessarily directly in the middle, so I did have to adjust it, but I just want to get the placement right. So as y'all can see, I applied the glue all the way down my hairline, and I really regret doing that. Most times I do sewing, I actually do a leave out, but since this is a closure and I didn't have a black cap, I just kind of forgot my process. So yeah, I put the glue all the way down my hairline and spread it out the normal way you do a ball cap method, and I pretty much just let it dry. So as I'm going to continue to let this top part dry, I start with my tracks. So I try to, all these tracks are the same length, so I don't have to measure them out and everything. So I just measure my head from the back, and all I do is measure it and I clipped it. If there is any hair that needs to be taken off, it's good to do it with hair scissors. That way you don't have any like extra shedding on the track itself. So the best thing to use is hair scissors. If you don't, just find a clean cut scissors to cut that track with, whichever part you want to get rid of. And then it's really simple. I don't use a blow dryer when I seal my tracks down. I just press it down and I don't mess with it until it's time to brush it out at the end. So I personally don't use a blow dryer because I just don't like heat too much on me. So you can use a blow dryer though. It does dry the tracks faster and hold them in place better. But like I said, I just kind of glue it down and I don't mess with it until I literally glue the whole head. That way I don't brush out any tracks out of place, because it's very easy to brush your track out of place. So all you do is from left to right apply the glue on the track. So yeah, the part that I showed you, it won't be the thicker part, it'll be the thinner part that you apply it to, kind of the same way you would sew it on. The part that you will lay down is the part that you apply the glue to. And I don't do too much glue. I try to do just a thin layer on each track, not like super thin, but I don't know how to describe it. But yeah, you can see how I'm doing it though, kind of just brushing it along the track. I'm not like heaping it on there, but I'm also like putting enough for the glue to actually stick to my head, and I'm spreading it out as well. Like I said, if you would like to, you can double up on a cap. Black caps are better for quick weaves, of course, so don't get me. I know y'all know. If y'all don't know, definitely suggest doing a black cap. So since this is my first track, I try not to put it all the way at the bottom. I try to put it like somewhat in the middle-ish, and then I go back and add 2 more tracks or 2 or 3, however many tracks underneath it. That way I can have just a placement track, just something to stay in place. So that's pretty much what I'm gonna do, is keep adding these tracks the rest of the way and until I'm done. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys the process, and I hope you enjoy this video. While you guys are here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you have any tips or what I could do better, because I'm definitely like just a girl that does her own hair. I just do what works for me. Definitely not a professional and things like that, but I know there are tips and tricks that could help me actually get better for the next time. And I'm definitely open to hearing those suggestions and tips and tricks so that next time I can do a better install. I think the next time I would prefer leaving it out versus the closure, but yeah, just going in, adding those tracks in. So here I am going to add a second layer of glue just for security. Like I said, it's up to you. It's really a personal preference if you want to go ahead and add that second glue. It depends on how long you expect your quick weave to last. Personally, I just wanted to make sure that closure is good and installed on there well, as well as the cap. I did not want to slip and slide in. And like I said, as you can see, I added tracks in the back already. So I don't want to waste time just sitting around. So while the front was drying, I was working on the back pretty much. So yeah, I'm going to actually start adding more tracks at the back now that I added a second layer of glue. So I'm going to have to just continue the same process and measuring out my head, cutting the track, adding the glue, and placing the track right above the second one, or the track that was placed before it pretty much. So next what I'm going to do is I actually sprayed the closure and I sprayed the wig cap too, just to make sure, just that extra security. And the closure is really easy. It's the same as if you've ever applied a full frontal wig. It's pretty much the same method, just a lot smaller. So the clip is to clamp the hair up, because you don't want the hair like touching the glue at all. That way, you don't have strands of hair on your lace. So what I'm going to do now is just literally lay the closure right on top of the glued part. Well, the glue that's still sticky in the front. I pretty much, okay, yeah, it fell over. But I pretty much just touched the ends, and I don't want to like secure it too much because now I'm going to do the needle and thread. So I'm showing you here where the ends of the lace are under the closure. That's pretty much the part that you're going to attach the needle and thread to. So you pretty much, like I said before, if you would have drew it with like chalk or something, it could have been easier that way, which I realized. But this is also an old closure that I'm reusing, so it's already been sold and customized and all of that. So I'm pretty much just working with something old. So the first thing is just threading my needle. If you've never done it before, you simply just cut it You want to have like a sharp edge, and you just put it through the needle and double it up and tie it. I tie like 2 or 3 knots just to make sure that it doesn't go through the lace when I do the first thread. After that, I'm pretty much just gonna sew around the ends. So I start in the middle, so I go one way and then I come back to the middle and go the other direction. So in this case, I didn't make my thread super long, so I would have had to just add more thread to the needle, or just have another needle already threaded. So if you have multiple needles, you can just have another needle already threaded, ready to use. That way you don't have to go through the whole process again. So yeah, this is pretty much an easy step. Just going around the perimeter. Try not to get too far away from the closure. When you put your thread through the actual wig cap, you don't want to be like super far back. The tighter you are to the actual closure, the tighter your actual closure is going to be sewed down. Sorry, I think I said that wrong. The closer you are to the closure, the tighter it's going to be sewed down. Sorry. So yeah, pretty much just going in a circle, and I'll just let y'all watch the rest of this process. It's pretty self-explanatory if you've done it before, and if you haven't done it before, it's just trial and error. So now that I got my closure on, I'm simply gonna go from ear to ear now when gluing my tracks. So this is pretty much the easy part. Literally just go from ear to ear up until you hit the closure. That way as you can see, there's a lot of space in between. My head looks bigger than I thought actually, but because I can't see what I'm doing, like pretty much I can't see back there. But you pretty much gotta feel it. Just feel through the tracks, so that way you're not overlapping your tracks. You just kind of have to feel where you left off the last track. So yeah, this part is pretty easy. It's pretty much the same thing you've been doing the whole way. You just go all the way up to the top. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I went from the edges to edges. Like I should have left some of my edges out, which is what I normally do. But like I said, this was a closure quick weave, so it was a little harder to do versus like a leave out. I definitely would have naturally left my edges out. But yeah, y'all can see I went from edge to edge. I don't recommend that. Like I said, I recommend not doing a full ball cap method and leaving the actual natural edges out, whether you do a closure or not. It just looks better and feels better, because the glue can irritate you. The glue can also mess with your edges, and you really don't want that. Okay, so now I just have to fix my part. As you can see, it's not necessarily in the middle when I sewed the closure down. So I'm just gonna fix that and readjust that. It's very simple and easy. I kind of was touching my closure because it was kind of coming up a little bit, but that's where that yellow freeze spray that I brought, actually that comes into play. So I froze, well, not froze it, but I sprayed underneath the lace and a little bit on top, and I let it melt. And as you can see, this is how it came out. I forgot to get other pictures and stuff, but it came out really cute. I didn't straighten it, I just like let it naturally be. It had a natural wave to it and I loved it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video.